I love my wife and I give my life for my wife, but my wife doesn't give me permission to how I run my business or what to do. I consult her, I ask her questions, I propose things to her. Sometimes I brainstorm with her, but ultimately the buck stops with me. Ultimately, I make the decision.
Yo, Elliot.
Yo, Elliot. I'm 31 and mentally, emotionally, and physically fit to be responsible for a wife. However, I'm currently living with my mother and I'm not financially stable. Should I put women on hold until I move out, or should I be open to a woman who understands that I'm not wealthy right now, but I have a plan and ambition to get there? So to answer that last question, I would say, yes, be open. You always want to be open to opportunities. We never want to close ourselves to God's grace. Like, it may be that God wants to put this woman in your life right now, in this moment, because she's going to be someone that supports and helps you achieve your greatness, achieve your wealth. I was listening to Alex Hormozy audiobook yesterday. He's a guy who helped gym owners build their gyms, and he turned out to be a really good entrepreneur. And so he's written some books about it. And in the book, he's talking about how when he was struggling is when he met his wife. And as a result of his wife's encouragement and her support, and, you know, she said that she would live with him under a bridge, gave him motivation, gave him impetus, gave him drive to get it done. It's like, man, my wife believes in me. I recently heard someone say that, I think it was Russell Brunson, said that more men fail in business because their wife doesn't let them. More men fail in business because their wife holds them back. So there you have, I'm almost like not even really answering a question. I'm showing you the two ends of the spectrum. There are those like myself. I met my wife when we were in high school. We got married when we were 23. Of course, I was flat broke just starting out, but because I had her, because I had a family, because I had a fire under my butt every single day to put food on the table and to get things going, I was successful. But had I not had that responsibility of a wife and a family, maybe I would have been a little bit lazier. Maybe I would have allowed stumbling blocks to trip me up and boundaries to not let me through. And maybe that's the same case with you, right? Like you're saying you're struggling with money, but maybe if you had a really big reason, meaning, oh, I have a wife and she's pregnant and oh my goodness, I need to make some money. A lot of men, I've watched it happen with a lot of my friends, they coast through their 20s and they do okay. But the minute they have a family, pedal to the metal, hardcore grind, and they get it done like they never done before. Again, I have the experience of one who has had a woman that was there even today when business is not doing well. My business is not always doing well when I'm trying new things and, you know, and the monthly income is down. My wife taps me on the back and says, "You got this, E. You can do this, E. I believe in you, E. Don't worry. Don't worry about me." She knows business comes first. She said that to me the other day. She says, "I know business comes first. Don't worry. I got your back. I believe in you. I know you'll get it." There are times when I'm feeling down and maybe she sees it on my face and she'll say, "I know you got this. You can do this. I believe in you." Like without hesitation. That does something to a man. Men really flourish in an environment of encouragement, especially when it comes from a woman they love. If you're open, like you're suggesting, and a woman does come into your life, that may be the very catalyst for your fitness success, for your business success. I don't know. Some men need to focus on their business, and a woman would distract them and hold them back and trip them up, or like Russell Brunson said, not allow them. That's the craziest thing, but it's true. I've seen this happen with a lot of Colleen's friends. You know, I don't usually have too many male friends that are sissies. But a lot of her friends' husbands, I remember, like, you know, when I was first starting out, and I would go to, like, you know, birthday parties where our kids are there, and I talk to the husbands, and, you know, they found out what I did. You know, I'm just a lowly personal trainer. I'm just a personal trainer. You know, I train people with trash in the back of my van, you know, and they're like, "Wow, man, that's pretty cool. I wish I could do something like that." And I'm like, "Why? Well, of course, you do whatever you want." My wife won't let me. I remember hearing that. How is that even a dynamic? I love my wife and I give my life for my wife, but my wife doesn't give me permission to how I run my business or what to do. I consult her. I ask her questions. I propose things to her. Sometimes I brainstorm with her, but ultimately the buck stops with me. Ultimately, I make the decision. And so I don't even understand that kind of dynamic. That doesn't make any sense to me. So if you do bring a woman into your life, if let me put it this way, if a woman is proposed to you, if God, the grace of God brings a woman into your life, I wouldn't turn her away, but I'd be completely honest with her. I'd be completely honest with her. And I'd say, hey, listen, I'm in a building stage in my life right now. This is where I'm at financially. I have plans to do X, Y, and Z, and my goal is to make ABC per year or per month. The only thing I require that if we're going to do this together is that you understand that for a many number of years, my business comes first. Because if I don't build this business, if I don't make this money, then you and it won't work. Because if we get married, it is my duty. And a lot of people don't understand this since feminism, but it's a man's duty. It's not your right. It is your responsibility to care for your wife, especially if she has children. She has a right to stay home while you earn money. So you got to explain to her, look, I want to do my duty as a husband. I want to do my duty as a man. So as a result, you got to understand that I must put this first. Otherwise, there is no you and me. You got to see how well she handles you telling her no, right? Because that's a financial thing too. How well does she handle adversity in general, right? Like, has she ever had adversity? Like, is she grown up in a home where maybe her father was a business owner, and so she has had experiences where, like, there are bad months and maybe there are bad years. My wife grew up in a lower middle class. They didn't have much, so she didn't have high expectations. Anything that I give her is a bonus. I don't want to say it sets the bar low, so that's good, but it kind of takes the pressure off, right? I didn't vet her that way. God put us together. But that may be one thing that you want to look at, right? So anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, be open to it. Be open to it. I wouldn't go chasing. I wouldn't go looking. I wouldn't go trying. I wouldn't try to make it happen. But if by the grace of God, a good girl comes into your life, I wouldn't turn her away as a result. I think it might motivate you, dude. Done.
Yo, Elliot.